Hey y'all, my name is Indigo. I'm someone who has been birding since 2020. We are going to be taking you along with me today as we go birding in Central Park. I love birding because I love being outside, I love nature, I love wildlife, I love all the animals, but there's something about birds. I love to get a close look at them. When I have researched a bird, when I have seen it in photographs, when I have seen it in video, and then I finally see it in person and it's like, oh my God, you exist, you're real, and you're right in front of me, and you're as beautiful as you are in the pictures and videos. So one of the differences between spring and fall migration is the plumage of the birds. These birds are changing plumage to attract mates. So you want to put your best outfit on in the spring when it's time to find the person that you would like to raise your young with. An example of a moment recently where chasers were looking for a bird was the stellar sea eagle that usually is seen in Russia and Asia and had come over to Maine. I think it was spotted in Texas. And because it's such a rare species of bird, people are going to chase after it and try to find it so they can have that lifer moment. So this time of year, because we're looking at warblers that often are really high up in the canopy, the very top of the trees, and are moving really quickly, you can't afford to take your eyes off of it. And you want to bring the binoculars up to you when you finally spot a bird, but it leaves your neck in this position for maybe hours, and your neck is going to get a bit sore. So they call that warbler neck. Part of why it looks so beautiful is because we're not permitted to trample on it. One of the tips I implement when I'm birding is to be patient and to move slowly. You're waiting on the bird to reveal itself to you. Let that bird expose itself when it's ready, and that takes a lot of patience. You might be sitting for a while or standing for a while. Move quietly and slowly, and know that it might take a while to actually spot field marks that can help you positively ID a bird, and to be okay with that and to just be patient and wait. You learn the field mark that relates to the name of the species. A lot of birds are named from what the male species looks like. So when you see the female, you might not know exactly what that is. So I would spend some time learning and looking at the field markings for the female versions of a species. So a good tip for spring migration is to learn the field markings from below so you can identify them without seeing their faces, because the warblers are really high up in the canopy and yet they're named for other field markings that you can't see when you're looking at them from the bottom. So what we just saw was a yellow-rumped warbler, but we can't see its yellow rump when it's high up like that, but we can see the yellow patches on the side of the body. One of the ways people can help wildlife is by not feeding the wildlife, not feeding the birds. If you have a bird feeder in your backyard with appropriate bird seed, there's nothing wrong with that, but we don't want birds relying on humans for food or getting too comfortable in close proximity, because then it could be a safety issue. So we want to make sure that we keep a healthy distance. Another recommendation to help support wildlife is to pick up after yourself, to not litter. What we do see, especially now and early in the spring migration, is birds surveying the ground looking for things to build their nest. Then I'll see a nest that is made with pieces of trash, pieces of plastic, straws, wrappers, and I'll see it embedded within a bird nest. It's important to keep your dog on leash, especially in protective areas. Sometimes there are initiatives to regrow plants, different grasses that are a part of the ecosystem of the park, and it might grow something, seeds or berries that birds will also use for their nourishment. So it's not only protecting the birds' safety and their young and them feeling safe to return to the park, but we also want to protect the flora and the other native life that is here in the park. Organizations like the Central Park Conservancy help to protect the wildlife that exists in the park, help to maintain the park so we can enjoy it too. And a part of why we enjoy it is because wildlife is able to thrive here. I would like to encourage and invite others to try birding. You might not like it and you might just end up really enjoying the outdoors and being outside. And then you might fall in love with birding like I did and hopefully join our community of birders in New York City.